The following is a community access program. Shaw is proud to support local producers and share local voices, ideas, and opinions. For more information, please visit shawtv.ca. Opinions expressed in this programming do not necessarily reflect the views of Shaw or its employees.
This is BTV with Zachary Millington. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the third and final 2015 BTV Shawcast. Hassan Rouhani, president of Iran, has clarified that he is working with the world's major powers on the nuclear deal and not just the U.S. Congress. Rouhani has also reiterated his stance on the deal, which now dictates that all sanctions on Iran must be lifted before an agreement is reached. The comment was made after U.S. Congress announced that it would be reviewing the terms of the deal before the June 30th deadline. Edward Snowden seems to have most countries' support. Citizens of Iceland have been pushing for Snowden to be granted citizenship within the island nation. Brigitta Jónsdóttir, leader of the country's Pirate Party, has stated that she would grant Snowden citizenship if she wins the election. With the rising popularity of the Pirate Party in Iceland, Mr. Snowden may finally have a country to call home again. Anti-Semitism has been on the rise in Holland. Rabbi Benjamin Jacobs has noted that even though armed security has been assigned to Jewish venues and sites in Holland, it's the equivalent of taking an aspirin for a headache, as necessary as it may be. Throughout 2014, there had been a 71% increase in anti-Semitic incidents in Holland, most of which stem from the conflict between Israel and Palestine in Gaza. Jacobs believes that one of the only ways to prevent anti-Semitism in the future is proper education for younger generations. In Canadian national news, the fall election debate table might be getting bigger this year. A consortium of television broadcasters who regulate the debate format have issued invites to the major parties for a meeting. On the invites, Green Party leader Elizabeth May and Bloc Québécois leader Mario Bulliot were also included. This will be the second time that May has participated in the federal debate. First in 2008, the 2011 debate May was not allowed to participate in, and she took the consortium to court. But this year, with backing from Liberal leader Justin Trudeau, it looks like she will be joining into what looks to be a very ferocious debate. Next up, we have a short piece on the Broadcasting 2015 graduating class, but BTV will be right back.
On March 24th, the Confederation College Television Broadcasting Program celebrated their annual handprint ceremony. First years and faculty say goodbye to the second years as they move on to their placements. There were 5 awards given out, including the Dougal Media Award. Kevin O'Connor, a first-year in television broadcasting program, achieved this award. Nikki Dixon won the On-Air Award. Wayne St. Germain won the Writing Excellence Award. Logan McIver achieved the Persistence Award. And Jevin Paul won the People's Choice, and was the first student to win this new award. The second years share some of their fondest memories and aspirations.
I think it definitely has to be first year, just all the on-air stuff we did. It was so much fun working with everybody and just making things up, and it was just a good time.
Making good friends, meeting nice people. Some of the productions were fun.
Unsigned shoots, late night editing, it was fun too, because everybody had laughs. We were watching really stupid cat videos sometimes, or just like, it was a lot of laughs.
This is Ryan Woodbeck from BTV News, signing off.
Justin Trudeau has stated that he would be willing to consider an NDP Liberal coalition, just not with Tom Mulcair as its leader. This follows a statement by the NDP that the two parties should band together to remove Conservatives from power. Trudeau's seeming indifference towards the proposal has put NDP officials off. Mulcair is quoted as saying, "Whenever we have opened the door, Trudeau has slammed it shut. My first priority is to get rid of Stephen Harper. Justin Trudeau's first priority is Justin Trudeau. Time will tell how this affects our nation's political climate. Polls will open mid-October." For local news, Thunder Bay has almost raised the whole sum of money necessary for saving the Finlandia. Since last week's broadcast, we have raised another $2,700 towards the $15,000 goal. The Hoito and Finlandia have been a cornerstone of Finnish culture since its conception in 1918. With only $2,300 left of the goal, and given that more than that amount was raised this past week, the Hoito's future is still looking bright. The Ontario government is reducing the number of moose tags distributed this year by 15%. This is an attempt by the MNR to sustain the local moose population, which is currently in decline. The second part of this operation will involve looking at additional methods of helping the moose population grow. It will also take a look at how moose censuses are conducted in the region and how quickly the population will begin to grow again. Over the last decade, there has been a surge of internet memes across the web. Memes are the social equivalent of a gene being passed among people, with each person adding something new to the formula. One such meme, known as Success Kid, was used by the same child pictured in the meme as a means of raising money for his father's kidney transplant. To put it how the Success Kid meme would go, get featured on a meme, use your fame to save your dad. A man in Australia has shown exactly what it means to be family. Tom Connolly hadn't had any contact with his cousin, who will remain nameless at her request, in 10 years when suddenly she added him on Facebook. During a conversation between the two, Connolly found out that his younger cousin was homeless and 8 months pregnant. Connolly then picked her up, brought her back to his home, aided her throughout the end of the pregnancy, and is now helping her raise her month-old baby boy. Between this, Connolly is also working and going to school to support the three. Next up, a quick PSA by Crime Stoppers. As our recurring watchers know, our past two broadcasts have featured segments on adopting pets at the Humane Society. I'm pleased to announce that two of our featured pets, Murphy and Charlotte, have been adopted. Here's a few more loving pets just waiting for the right person to come along for them.
Hi, my name is Adam Riley. I'm a first-year television broadcasting student here at Confederation College in Thunder Bay, and I'm the associate producer for the 2015 Shawcast. And with me here today is purring, lovely little beautiful kitty is Hermnia. She's 14 years old. She's extremely docile, a little squirmy, but you know, she just wants to explore. She's very loving, very affectionate. She just had a haircut, so she looks a little goofy right now, but don't let that dissuade you. And if you wish to adopt Hermnia or any other animal here at the Thunder Bay District Humane Society, you can either phone them, email them, or drive on out to 1535 Rosslyn Road and take a look at any of the animals here.
Hello and welcome to the BTV Weather Report. I'm Rebecca Gann. Today's weather news regards Canada's greenhouse gas emissions. Unfortunately, Canada so far has been unsuccessful in regards to meeting its 2020 greenhouse gas reductions target. Many provinces are still struggling to get their greenhouse gas emissions under control and are far from reaching the reduction targets they've set for themselves in 2020. In the process of attempting to lower Ontario's greenhouse gases, Ontario prepares to merge with Quebec and California as the third jurisdiction in North America to implement a cap-and-trade system for carbon emissions. Some of Canada's biggest emitters are Alberta, Ontario, Quebec, Saskatchewan, and British Columbia. Together, they've released almost 90% of Canada's national total of 699 megatons of carbon dioxide. The Harper government expects to have progress reports on reduced greenhouse gases emissions updated for July 1st, 2015. Moving on to our 5-day forecast, today is a mix of sun and cloud and our high is 14 degrees. Friday is a chance of showers with a high of 17. All day Saturday will be the sunshine with a high of 10. Come Sunday, there's chances of showers with a high of 7, and on Monday, sadly, there's a chance of wet snow and a high of 4. The weather for today's date back in 1960 was a high of 6 degrees. That's all we have for our weather forecast today, but we'll be right back after this message.
And how are you today?
Fine.
We have a phony at till 1. I repeat, we have a bullshit.
You want to talk about sports now?
Did we talk about sports now?
Let's talk about sports now. Welcome to Miller Time.
And we're just in time to talk about this past NFL season.
And what an NFL season it was. All the intensity of 16 games spilling out into the off-field.
Now we see Ray Rice with his wife controversy, Adrian Peterson with his child, and Josh Gordon with another suspension. Can you believe it?
I can. I can also believe none of the other things that happened, literally because of the mismanagement at the very top of this organization.
Roger Goodell, I think he's run his course. He is not fit to run the NFL anymore.
The man has just made one bad call after bad call, unable to handle any crises whatsoever. It's ridiculous.
Now we see Ray Rice punching his own wife on camera and then making her apologize for it on live TV.
When a tackle's not the most violent thing you see on an NFL broadcast, there's a problem. Look at Adrian Peterson breaking off a switch and then hitting his child with it. I don't care if it's Texas style, it's still wrong.
If you've seen the pictures, you would know a little discipline, not so bad. But when you see how many scars and scratches and whips he had, it's unbelievable.
And you know what? I'd hate to say it this way, but maybe Goodell takes a lesson or two from Texas-style discipline and starts focusing more on the way these players should be punished.
Now you see Josh Gordon getting suspended for maybe the rest of his career for smoking marijuana. And Ray Rice and Adrian Peterson can play again, potentially this past year.
Just more and more abuse, be it physical or drug. You've got guys rolling over SUVs, some even deciding to leave the sport early altogether just to avoid this kind of lifestyle.
The 24-year-old linebacker from the 49ers leaves 1 year into his contract just to give up good health.
Maybe we should take a cue from him. This has been Miller Time.
Tune in next. Hello everyone, I'm Justin Hootler.
And I'm Alex Miller, and this is the sporting news you need to know for this week.
The Ottawa Senators are grinding out their playoff series against Montreal with a heavy heart. Senator assistant coach Mark Reeds passed away this past Tuesday after a long battle with cancer at the age of 55.
Shame.
His coaching career began with Ottawa as an assistant after a long, successful career in the OHL. Reed was talking to players less than 10 days ago before he passed the locker room one message: win it all. He is survived by his wife and their 2 children.
We here at BTV pass on our condolences. Yesterday was Jackie Robinson Day, honoring the man and his wholly game-changing contributions to the sport of baseball. 68 years ago, number 42 took the sporting world by storm, giving them no choice but to witness as he broke the color barrier to the sport and walked out on Ebbett Field on April 15th, 1947. He won the Rookie of the Year in its inaugural year in his very first season and was the first African-American player to win the MVP award in 1949. His jersey number 42 has been universally retired by the entire league, and that matches the enormity of his contributions to the sport and everything he's meant.
He's been a lot. Now with the NHL playoffs being underway, it's time to pick their 2 favorites. Now,
Slashing it down to 2, huh?
in the West, I just think Chicago has too much experience and too much skill to pass up on. With Patrick Kane returning and Taves, Patrick Sharp, Duncan Keith, I see them being a very tough team to beat.
Very tough, very scary.
Now in the East, we have New York. The Rangers, I see them advancing again simply because they have the best defensive core. Now, we're going to hope Rick Nash leads them to the promised land, but we'll see.
Yeah, he's had some troubles there. Aaron Hernandez, former tight end for the New England Patriots, was sentenced to 25 years to life without the possibility of parole for the charge of murder in the first degree.
What a waste.
He was charged with the gangland slaying of former semi-pro football player Odin Lloyd and also has firearm and ammo charges linked to the murder as well. The jurors opted for the first-degree murder charge due to the atrocity, ferocity, and cruelty of the killing. Hernandez will now be brought back to Boston to face charges based on the participation in possibly 2 other homicides.
It's disgraceful.
Scary.
Now, speaking of the NFL, the upcoming draft will be next week, and we'll have some Canadians in the mix.
That's good, always.
Yale running back Tyler Varga is a very strong, determined, and he's very quick on his feet. And he also had an impressive Senior Bowl.
So many teams need running backs this year.
We will see him go in about 5th, 6th round. We'll see him stick with the team. Also, Brandon Bridge is a quarterback from South Alabama who could be the sleeper to this draft.
There you go.
He is great. He is raw talent, but has the size and a very strong arm for a team who can groom him to be the next starting quarterback. So now we go to Ducky, the 3-legged cat.
There we go.
Hi, so this is Baby Ducky. Baby Ducky and her sibling were found abandoned in a snowbank in minus 30-degree weather. Ducky and the litter that she came from is a prime example of unwanted litters being abandoned or neglected in Thunder Bay. So Ducky came in with severe frostbite. She has undergone amputation of her leg and her tail and her ear, as you can see. But she's happy and healthy and strong after much love and care. Ducky is the reason for the spay-neuter clinic coming to Thunder Bay and the district. We see an overabundance of abandoned litters of kittens and puppies, such as Ducky, all too often. And fixing your pet is basically the only way to stop this neglect and abandonment of such precious little lives. Help bring a spay-neuter clinic to Thunder Bay. You can support our campaign Take the Lead by donating online at www.tbdhs.ca or by calling 475-8803. We thank you for your support.
You look different. What's wrong with you? You look ugly.
You're just going blind.
Shut up.
Okay. Entertainment news. So Kanye West had an impromptu concert this week in Yerevan, Armenia. For those of you who don't know, it's a small country next to Iran and Turkey. Kanye collected a big crowd at this outdoor event, but he started getting wild, and so did the fans.
He jumped into a lake and walked to the middle. The act inspired the crowd to follow suit and jump in the middle too. It got out of hand pretty quickly and police actually had to shut it down.
Yeah, and on the note of celebrities being wild and crazy, what else is new? Justin Bieber.
Has an arrest warrant issued by the Argentinian judge.
Nelly the rapper.
Was arrested on Saturday accused with meth and other drugs.
John Hamm, one of the Mad Men stars.
Was a part of a violent university hazing in 1990 at University of Texas that led to criminal charges, and the case has now resurfaced with the final season of Mad Men airing soon. Everyone is going crazy. Now you go crazy too.
Okay. But on a lighter note, Justin Timberlake recently had a baby, and they named him Silas Randall Timberlake.
Welcome to the world, little one. Congrats to them.
Movie review. Get Hard. Get Hard was a delightful movie if you're into inappropriate jokes and you like Kevin Hart or Will Ferrell.
This movie could definitely have some folks feeling uncomfortable at times with the humor, but others will be laughing the whole movie through.
Kevin Hart and Will Ferrell are very charismatic together.
Just like us. Like, I am short and you're tall. Kevin Hart is short. Okay.
We're basically them.
Yeah.
And you're going to want to see more of them by the end. The movie synopsis. The prison-bound manager of a hedge fund asks a black businessman who has never been to jail to prepare him for life behind bars.
This movie is full of racial stereotypes, fighting racial stereotypes, and the feeling of doing the right thing. this was a good movie if you can handle some inappropriate jokes and racism, because like I can handle racism because I stay with him. So
Okay, Miss Mumbai. Tribute.ca gave this movie 3.5 stars out of 5.
IMDb gave this movie 3 out of 5.
And we here at BTV also gave this movie a 3.5. We now go to our own Kevin O'Connor, reporter for BTV.
Kevin O'Connor here, standing right in front of this very interesting moose character displayed outside of the Thunder Bay Art Gallery. You know, you could find art displayed in quite a few areas in Thunder Bay, whether it's schools or even the waterfront. But what exactly does Thunder Bay have to offer as far as art goes? This reporter recently went inside the Thunder Bay Art Gallery to find out.
The Thunder Bay Art Gallery, located on Confederation College campus, features a multitude of works from a variety of local and regional artists.
The gallery is in fact a public art gallery as opposed to private, which means it operates on funds received from 3 levels of government and also fundraising events that we conduct here, as well as donations received from foundations and private individuals. So we are the only public art gallery between Sault Ste. Marie and Winnipeg, actually.
There are 3 exhibition venues. One of these is the Lakehead University exhibit, featuring the artwork of Lakehead University students.
All of the work in here has been done at Lakehead by 4th-year students. So it's their graduating year exhibition, if you will. Normally it happens a little later in the year in conjunction with what we call a juried exhibition. Many of these students will go on to become teachers in public schools or high schools, some of them maybe even in art galleries, if you will. They could end up potentially in a place like this. We do run educational programs 12 months of the year. Others will move on to become their own independent artists, if you will. Historically, many of them have had their own individual shows here in the gallery in subsequent years after their graduation.
So it looks like the future of art in Thunder Bay is doing pretty well. Isn't that right, Moose? This has been Kevin O'Connor reporting.
Look who's here. Today on our show, we have a very special guest, the hot, sexy student of film production, Zach Wilson.
Thank you, Shorty. I'm just here real quick to let you guys know about the 22nd Annual Northwest Film Fest that's taking place this Sunday. It's the 19th of April, and there's going to be a ton of great films that they're featuring there, some pretty popular independent films, as well as the showcasing of some regional and local talent through short films. So if you've got nothing to do on Sunday, definitely check it out. I know that's where I'm going to be.
That's where I'm going to be then.
I might come.
Okay.
All right, so moving on from this film stuff.
Yes.
As it is our last show, we are now going to do something very special.
And we're going to teach you the step so that you remember us forever.
It is called
Hallelujah.
the Step of the Week.
Step of the Week.
And
I wear my
you use this
dancing
dance
hat on.
party at any party, you're going to be
so
the hit.
it's wave with 3 people.
The wave with 3 people.
2 hot people and 1 ugly.
Okay.
Yes, let's do this. So you do this.
You cue the music, Mrs. Audio.
And 1, 2, 3, go.
Oh
my
goodness.
This is so much fun.
Okay, and then we try switching up. What? Here we go. Okay. And as you can see, we look really cool. As you will if you do that anywhere, at any time.
Yeah.
That's all we have for entertainment. Thank you to our guest, Zach Wilson.
Thank you.
And do whatever you want.
Namaste.
See you. Hallelujah. Adios.
When you go to sleep tonight, will you know if there's a fire? Your risk of dying in a home fire is cut in half when a working smoke alarm is present. Make sure to change your batteries every 6 months and to test your alarm once a month. Your life may depend on it.
We now have a feature on the EMS service in Thunder Bay assembled by one of our producers.
Several locales around the campus of Confederation College in Thunder Bay were the place of what looked like a triage scene out of an emergency services drama, but in fact was a skill simulation for students in the Paramedic and Police Foundation programs. Troy Rubach, a first-year Police Foundation student who helped organize the simulation, describes the scenario and what the simulation was designed for.
Today we're doing an interprofessional simulation. It's Police Foundations and the EMS, the paramedic students. So we're doing a simulation to try and see how we react in a real-life situation where, as a three-tiered response, where police, EMS, and fire are all going to be dispatched to a scene. It's really important to be able to work together, all three units. Everybody has a different goal, but it's all for the same reason. So we're just practicing that, trying to have some fun and hopefully learn something from it. So.
Police Foundation students were included to increase the realism of the simulation. First-year paramedic student Anthony Mendy explains why.
We often practice individually as programs, not really interacting much, but when we get hired and we're working out in the field, we're going to be communicating almost every day. So it just made sense to kind of have a big simulation where we have our agenda and they have their agenda, but we're working together to help everybody out and help the patient. Over by the art gallery, we had a motor vehicle collision. There was a T-bone collision involving two drivers. A pedestrian was also hit. So paramedics had to differentiate and prioritize patients. And then they were called immediately from the motor vehicle collision into the Suki Student Commons, where a bar fight simulation is taking place.
The simulation, which took place over the course of the day on April 2nd, even included an officer down scenario, a stark reminder of the dangers of being a frontline emergency worker while on call. The operation was well received and allowed the students to show off their abilities and professionalism. Reporting for BTV, I'm Adam Riley.
We're running a bit low on time now, so once again I'd like to state how much I've enjoyed working in the BTV program and how much I love the sense of fellowship and belonging that each of my classmates fills me with. It's a fulfilling experience to work together with so many like-minded people, and I consider it a privilege to have had these last 2 semesters. Here's a short piece on why you should consider BTV for your post-secondary media needs.
Action.
You get a chance to try many different things, anything from editing to camera work to directing and producing. So you can really find that area that really suits you, where you can really stand out.
The staff is great. They've all been in the industry for countless years. They're really supportive, just the perfect people to guide you into the future of your career.
Being in the program, you make lots of lifetime friends with, older, younger people, and it's just a great experience.
Right from day one, you're pretty much hitting the ground running. You're given projects that you probably didn't think you'd be doing until the last semester, and really you're having a great time doing it.
I've learned so much in this program, and I'm going to take a lot away from this.
That's all the time we have. Thank you so much for joining us these past 3 weeks, Thunder Bay, and be sure to tune in next year for the 2016 First Year Shawcast. Who knows? You yourself may be involved in its production. For BTV, this is Zach Millington, signing off.
support local producers, and share local voices, ideas, and opinions. For more information, please visit shawtv.ca. Opinions expressed in this programming do not necessarily reflect the views of Shaw or its employees.